Good morning, Trinity, and welcome to Musical Mondays. Online worship is just not the same as being in person. Have you said that recently? I've certainly heard people say that to me. And it's true, online worship is not the same as being in person. But there are ways that we can enrich our experience of worshiping at home so that when we do come back together, we're not out of practice. So that when we come back together, we can participate fully because we've been participating as fully as we can from home. You may have noticed yesterday in worship that we sang a psalm after the first reading. Our song leader, Lori, led the psalm, and I attempted to act as the voice of the congregation, of the assembly, by singing on the refrains of the psalm along with Lori. If you looked at the bulletin, you may have noticed that there were directions for singing in there. The song leader sings the refrain and the assembly repeats. The song leader sings the verses. Why have these directions in there if we're worshiping from home and we're just watching the service? Consider this Musical Monday as an invitation for you to participate in worship from home however you are able. That may include singing. I certainly hope it does. That is my role here, to encourage and enliven the song of the assembly, whether we're here in person or we're at home. So I do encourage you to sing. But you also might think of having a space set aside for worship. If you're at your kitchen table or something like that, you might have a candle, have a bowl of water, as we invited you to recently, to remember your baptism. You, of course, would have your communion elements there and various things like that. So setting aside a sacred space, but also perhaps in posture, standing when we say the Apostles' Creed together, standing if you choose to sing, if you're able to stand. Using a posture of prayer. I remember just a few weeks before we went back online for worship with our children downstairs during morning gather, when we were praying, we practiced using this gesture of open hands, the orans position, to pray the Lord's Prayer. So you might consider doing that as a way to participate more fully in worship. So this is an invitation for you to participate not only now online, but in the future online. If you have to worship from home for whatever reason and you're not able to come in person, participate with our live stream rather than just watching it. And this is an invitation for you to be mindful now of how you participate in worship and the resources that we provide to encourage and enable that participation, so that when we're back in person, our participation together in worship is as robust as it can be. So, do take the opportunity now to sing along with the refrains of the psalm. The music will be there on the screen for you, and I hope to see you online at our annual meeting next week and in worship, and hopefully in person very soon.
You have the words of everlasting life. Lord, you have the words of everlasting life.
The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The rule of the
have the words of everlasting life. Lord, you have the words of everlasting life.
The precepts of the Lord are right, delighting the heart. The command of the Lord is clear, enlightening the eye. Lord, you have the
Lord, you have the words of everlasting life.
Lord, you have
You have the words of everlasting life.